Gorgina, Reggie, and Jarven all stand near the grave of their recently deceased father. In the freezing cold of Kentucky, the siblings all take turns reading their goodbyes to their father. First was Reggie.
I struggled with this. You were only there for a very small portion of my life. I considered just writing a paragraph, but when I started writing, I didn't stop. My body didn't let me. So now in honor of this labor, I'll read it. I don't think you deserve it, but someone does. You were a bad father. Nothing redeemable, truly. Everything I did came in spite of your actions. I stand here as a survivor of you, not a son. Your physical abuse and mental abuse was awful. To this day, I'm afraid of yelling and the kickback of cars, the slamming of doors and the friendly pat on the back. And despite that, I needed you. Now, don't get me wrong. When you left for good and let Tim come into my life, I rejoiced. I literally said hurrah to Tim, like you were some awful cold or a monster that was gone. And yet, you were there for the rest of my siblings. That was hurtful. They all got toys and full bellies. They never slept hearing you call my mother a whore and a bitch. You changed and became a better man, and I never saw it. You stayed that way for my life, and will stay that way. So I guess, goodbye. I really hope you felt bad, at least as bad as I did.
Then Gorgina spoke next.
When I was 6, you told me that you would make sure I was a protected princess. I believed you. And on paper, you kept your promise. You went to Disney every summer, the park every week. I saw my friends more than my own brother. I never knew hunger or fear even. You were always a dad. Why would you hit or yell? Now, that's on paper. You were great for big moments. The small things? When I was made fun of for liking dolls, Mom helped. When that boy called me ugly and embarrassed me, Mom. When I broke my leg, you didn't once visit to watch a movie with me or do my hair. You weren't there. Just a guy with big moments. But you missed a million little ones. And it's so hard to complain. I mean, you made sure I got a tutor and played a sport. I got to attend a great college for free. You were there completely, materially. And that was it. Was I broken? Was I not worth talking to? Not a day you could have just listened? So I guess thanks for the things. I just wish you could have been my friend.
And finally, Jarven spoke.
You did so much for me. You drove a total of 3,000 miles to bail me out, or to get me out of an infectious relationship with the next drug-addled woman that used me, or even when I was the user. You didn't care. You'd check me into rehab and call me and visit every chance you could. I don't think you ever missed a meeting. 9 times in 15 years you did that. Not once did you yell at me. You know what you did when you heard I wanted to be a nurse? After all the times I've stolen from you, or crashed your car, you paid for everything without thinking. Not even a judgmental look. Just the look of a man with pure love for his son. In my childhood, you were my friend more than a father. I knew everything about you. Summers were filled with fishing and hunting, winters, skiing and hockey. You weren't just fun, you were there for everything. When I had my first breakup, or when I failed 8th grade, then 9th grade, and when I got my GED. You were there with a cake and a balloon. We stopped at McDonald's and you just teared up and said how proud you were that his addict son got his GED at 26. You were a good man to me with a terrible past. I can't hate you, even after hearing your abuses, as much as I want to. I wish I could, but I owe you my life many times over the limit you should. So I love you, Dad. I hope it's pretty where you are.
The siblings sat in silence, the cold nipping at them with each breath. They all took turns burning their letters to their dad, with the cheap gas station lighter they found on the way, its Hello Kitty pink exterior producing a little flame to lay the man to rest. After one last look at the grave, they all left, all now ready to move on from his presence.